And breaking news coming in now on the Goa kickback scam. The Goa police have now made a first arrest in this case of the alleged bribe given by two former executives of construction firm Louis Berger to secure sewage and water projects in Goa and Guwahati. Sources telling Times Now that a former high-ranking government official linked to this project has now been arrested. It is the first arrest in this case, as the news has broken about a week ago, where the revelations were made, and in fact executives of this Louis Berger firm had pleaded guilty in a United States court. They had pleaded guilty of offering bribes to the tune of $3.9 million to secure contracts in these two areas. Ashish is with us for more on this now. Ashish, we know that one official had already been suspended from the Waterworks Department. Do we have an identity on the government official arrested just yet?
So that's right. He's the senior most government official in the PWD department, and I'm told that he was being interrogated by crime branch continuously for last 1 week. And today, just half an hour ago, the crime branch decided to arrest this official. I'm told he was the mediator between the company, Louis Berger India, and the few other ministers who were basically responsible for these files to be signed. As of now, we don't know the exact identity of these ministers, but this is the first arrest in India as far as Louis Berger bribery case is concerned. Remember, it started from last Friday rather, when the news broke out that the US Justice Department has penalty to the Louis Berger India company, and now the first arrest in India has been made, and it's the highest government official in Goa government, PW department rather, who has been arrested. I'm told tomorrow he will be produced. At this moment, he has been kept in Panjim lockup. He will be transferred to the crime branch lockup. The other few people who were asked for, who were summoned rather in last 3 to 4 days, had given statement under 164 before the magistrate, and this official is the only one who was not cooperating with the Goa crime branch, and that is the reason he has been arrested. In addition to that, some of the topmost sources from Goa crime branch informed me that his was the only statement that was not corroborating with the other witnesses and the accused who have been in this case after the FIR was registered last week. So keeping that aspect in mind, he is the first one to be arrested, and now the crime branch probe will certainly pick up speed. But at the same time, I must mention that within a week's time, the crime branch has managed to crack the entire case. The topmost sources from Goa police have informed me they have almost solved and cracked the entire case. They had a very close to getting the name of the minister and also the company officials who paid a bribe. At the same time, they have written letter rogatory to the U.S. government. It has to go through the Indian government. At the current stage, this letter rogatory has reached the Home Department, government of Goa. It will take a little longer time. At the same time, the Goa crime branch has opened a parallel route in which they have written a letter to the Louis Berger Gurgaon head office in India, requesting them to provide all the internal investigation that was conducted by Louis Berger in 2010 and 11 bribery case. And if the Louis Berger India gives all the documents to the Goa crime branch, then it will not take much time for the crime branch to crack this case officially. But this is the first arrest. PWD highest official of Goa's PWD department has been arrested, and it's not going to take much time for the Goa crime branch. In fact, in just a couple of days from now, I'm told they are going to approach the ministers and other Louis Berger India former employees as well. Back to you.
Okay, so Ashish, now you've given us 2 or 3 really important points. One, you're saying the suspended project director, Vacha Sundar, is the man who's been arrested. Like you said, the FIR filed against unknown persons last week. Within a week, the first arrest has been made. Surely now this is going to lead to further information coming forth for the investigating officials. Ashish?
2010, and he is now the project director of this JICA project, which is basically a consortium of 4 companies. Now, I'm told with the arrest of Vacha Sundar, he'll certainly reveal all the names, and he was not cooperating so far in the investigation, but the police, with the help of other witnesses, former Louis Berger India employees, and a few other officials from Goa government, they managed to ascertain who was the minister and who were the company officials who were basically involved in.
So the other names that are going to be investigated, you're telling us that the names have not been made public, but the names are with the investigating officers, and we are likely to see more action and more arrests in the days to come. Ashish, if you can hear me, have these other names been given to the investigating officers from Vacha Sundar? Has he come forth with further information? Are we going to see more arrests over the next few days?
Well, yes, fully cracked this case. They have got the names of some of the big ministers here in Goa, although they don't want to make it public at this point of time. But remember, the 2 eyewitnesses and the people who paid a bribe, the former Louis Berger India officials, their statements have been recorded under 164, and the topmost sources from Crime Branch have confirmed to me that they have confessed that they did pay. In fact, they were part of the entire structure through which the bribe was paid to the ministers. But at this point of time, the Crime Branch does not want to reveal the name of the minister nor of the Louis Berger officials, but they have the names, and the probe with the arrest of Project Director A.M. Vacha Sundar is going to pick up speed from now, and in a couple of days from now, I'm told the Goa Crime Branch will fully close this case. The report of Goa Crime Branch, which was prepared this morning after the statement of Mr. 2 former Louis Berger officials and of the Louis Berger officials and of Mr. Vacha Sundar, has been submitted to the Chief Minister's office, and the final call will be taken by Chief Minister's office. Quickly after that, the Crime Branch will get nod, and the DGP of Goa Police will go ahead and question the ministers who have been named in the statement of the minister India official.
Former Louis
Ashish,
Berger
if you're still with us.
Back to you.
Yes, Ashish, what is the information that is required from the United States authorities? As you said to us, it was the 2 executives of Louis Berger who had pleaded guilty to having bribed Indian officials in Goa and Guwahati. That is when the entire case has broken. What is the kind of information that the investigating officials are going to be seeking from the United States?
So there are 2 main things what the Goa Crime Branch is looking at, and in order to get that, they have opened 2 channels. The 2 things are, first, the internal investigation of Louis Berger India, in which they found that some of Louis Berger India officials were involved in the entire system through which the bribe was being paid to few ministers in Goa. And that the second thing what Louis Berger, the Goa Crime Branch is looking at, is the exact order, full order of US Justice Department. So these are the 2 things the Goa Crime Branch is looking at, and in order to get these 2 things, they have opened 2 channels. First is the letterogatory. This is basically the mutual legal agreement treaty between India and US, under which the Goa Crime Branch can write to the state government, and then again it will go to the center government. It will come back from the central government to the local court here, which will in turn finally write to their counterpart, basically the US Justice Department in New Jersey, requesting that if they can provide the internal investigation and the final order of the US Justice Department. So, but that is going to be a lengthy process, and that is the reason the Goa Crime Branch has smartly moved the other channel as well. They sent a 3-member team to the Louis Berger's Gurgaon-based head office. They had sent a team there last week, and they are in fact, they have officially written to the Louis Berger India company to provide them internal investigation, which was carried out by them, in which the minister's name has has been mentioned. So the second channel has also been opened by Goa Crime Branch, and I'm told in a week's time the Louis Berger India will get their reports from the US head office and will in turn provide it
Ashish,
to Goa Crime Branch.
as far as the information that we have right now, what are the indications as to the top former ministers that have been named? Of course, the names are not being made public yet, but what is the kind of information that the investigating officers have been able to get from those that have been interrogated so far?
Well, certainly the speed with which Goa Crime Branch has managed to crack this case, it's something. It was not. In fact, the politicians, remember the Goa Chief Minister Parsekar had mentioned that the case would be given to CBI last week, but I don't think the speed with which the Goa Crime Branch has managed to crack this case. They need to go to CBI. I have the details of the interrogation and of the statement as well, but at this point of time, the Goa Crime Branch doesn't want to reveal the names of the ministers and of the Louis Berger India officials as well. Until the time it's made official, we will refrain from giving these names out. But as far as details are concerned, I'm told the Goa Crime Branch has managed to get the entire structure, how the payment was made, who were the minister, what was the location, who were the employees of Louis Berger India, basically the entire module and the structure through which the payment were being made. And it's not one minister. I'm told there are two ministers names have popped up in this investigation, but the crime branch has submitted a report to the Chief Minister's office just an hour ago, and the moment Chief Minister's office approves this and accepts this report, the Goa Crime Branch will not take more than a day or two to catch these ministers. Back to you.
All right, Ashish, stay on with us. We're going to stay with this story as more and more details come forth. The first arrest has been made in this case just a week after the FIR had been filed against unknown persons after two executives in the United States from Louis Berger had pleaded guilty to having bribed Indian officials for water and sewage deals. Now, we're going to stay on this, Ashish. We're heading into a very short break right now. Just stay with us and we'll be right back.